Hello and welcome everyone to this very special day, this very special edition of WSA TV and the celebration of the voices of the 21st century women who influence, inspire, and make a difference. This is our #1 best-selling book. Yay!
Yeah.
And we've got the authors here today to discuss that. And we are so excited to have you here to share in this very, very exciting day. We're so happy you're here. So I wanted to jump right in and with the woman who started this all, and that is Gail Watson, and your vision and how this all came together. Maybe you can share and kick us off today.
Absolutely. So this has been just an exciting journey. And the ladies all here today have been absolutely amazing. And it is because of each one of them coming together to share their voice has really made this book a success. And today we just hit #1 just about an hour ago. Women in business. So yay. But how the book started when Women's Speakers Association came together back in 2011, it has always been our vision to be able to share the voices of women around the world. And most recently, last January, I was actually working on a school project with my son. And we were tasked with having to research women and their roles and who they were from the early 1900s, late 1800s. And what was really interesting as I went through there is, first of all, there was very little information and you had to really dig. But secondly, when we did find information, it was really just about, oh, I did this. I worked in a mill. I weaved baskets. It was nothing really that allowed us to get to know women, and that's kind of what sparked it to go, this was time for us to all come together and get our voices out. And as we see right now, we are absolutely in a defining moment of history as women's voices rise up and are creating a lot of change and having big impact. So I couldn't be more proud for every single woman in this book who has done that and is absolutely making a difference with her story.
So it's very amazing how many women came together. The 30 women here who are on this live today and not all of the women could be here, all the authors, but we have 30 authors in the book. And so if you didn't get your book yet, and by the way, maybe Tracy, you can put the link to get the book. It's Voices of the 21st Century book.com. If you go there, you'll see the link to buy the book. And the 30 women have these amazing stories. So I thought as many of the women we could get to come on today to share would be awesome about their chapter in it. And what's really phenomenal about this book is that they're really short stories, but they're very impactful. So I wanted each woman whose voice to be heard today. I want to know what you want people to take away. So our viewers today could comment on that, could know what they're in store for the book. So I'm going to go around and ask each author, to share what their name is, what you do in the world, your chapter title, and answer this following question, which is, what is the change you're passionate about making in the world that your chapter calls people to do? So without further ado, let's just go around. And Tracy, I want to call on you first. And Tracy, if you're...
I am here. I'm just trying to do back-end stuff at the same time and get the right link up so that people can purchase. It's actually been really exciting. I'm watching our website, and this morning I actually had to go in and make some extra changes because the number of people that are coming to it kind of overwhelmed our system there for a bit. So very exciting. So yeah, I'm so thrilled to be part of this group of women. Like, the stories are so inspiring, and being involved with a group like this is just like, I have friends now that are going to be in my realm for the rest of my life, and I am so honored to be a part of this and be able to share my story. So thank you very much.
I'm so excited you're here, and your story is just, you know, encouraging, so uplifting and encouraging. Great. So, what is the, Dana, I'd like to ask you to come on next and share who you are in the world, what you do, and what is that you're passionate about your chapter calling people to forth to do.
Thank you. Well, again, my name is Dana Johnson, and I'm Chief Operating Officer at Coulter Construction, general contractor. And the main thing that I wanted to talk about is to try to bridge the gap a little bit between the roles that men and women and the pay gap, and to let people know that, you know, we still have a long way to go to get women in construction and to kind of level the playing field.
Yes, and you're doing that. You're a role model of that, just like we, you know, each of the authors role modeled their specialty. So thank you for that. And Melanie, I thought you could go next.
All right, get myself unmuted. Hi, everybody. Melanie Benson. I'm known as a profit amplifier. I work with visionaries and emerging experts who want to play a bigger game. And what I have really wanted to do with my chapter's called The Magic of Bold Goals. And I want to inspire more women and men to really like take bolder action in their life and in their business, to not let fear be the thing that dictates their decision journey, but really like go for it. And what can happen, not only impacting more people, but what can happen in our own life when we let the courage come up to do the things that we're maybe a little scared to do. And isn't this book a great example of a bold goal? You know, it's like, I don't know that anyone else is already a best-selling author, but this is the power of setting a bold goal right here in action.
Yeah, the bold, you know, it really felt amazing. I had to text several of the authors once Karen put up the notification that we are all. And let's take a quick break. In fact, I want to bring Karen on and tell us about the process of becoming a bestseller and how we did that.
Oh, you're making me reveal my secrets. So.
Just a little insight. And just introduce yourself and tell us who you are for this project.
Sure. So my name is Karen Strauss. I'm the founder of a publishing company called Hybrid Global Publishing. I've been in the publishing industry for 35 years. And I had the pleasure of meeting Gail way back, I guess, at the beginning of 2018 through you, Laura. Thank you very much. And so we created a WSA Publishing. So this is a publishing arm just for the premier members of Women Speakers Association. And this is our first collaborative project. So it's been an amazing journey, and it's been an honor and an inspiration to read all 30 authors' stories. So I just want to say that, and then the collective publishing and the editing of the book. And so we, from the beginning, knew that we wanted to, our goal was to become a #1 best-selling book on Amazon. And I'm proud to say that we did that. And the key really is, you know, choosing the categories, the right categories, and we collectively used our platforms, each of us, to make sure everybody knew when the launch date was. We put the Kindle down to 99 cents for a limited period of time. And so the idea is to sell more books than anybody else on a given day within a 24-hour period in order to become #1. And that's what we were able to accomplish because we all really worked together, getting the reviews and getting the sales on this day.
And kudos to everyone. It really was a group effort because it couldn't have been done without it. And, you know, we did it in less than like 12 hours, it seemed like. I think we did it in 11 hours because I saw you put the #1 best-selling notification up, and I will share my screen real quick so everybody can see it and get it on camera. We are a #1 bestseller.
Yay! Woo!
So, and by the way, it's not over. We want more people to enjoy this book and for years and get the hardcover. I mean, the hard
Paperback.
paperback, right? Copy, but but the Kindle today, if you want to just be inspired and read the stories, it's yours today for 99 cents. Voices of the 21st Century Book.com. See it in the comments below. The book is inspiring, so I want more of you to share. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. What is the topic that you're sharing about who you are, and what are you passionate about, the change you want to see in the world? Let's go over to Dr. Jan.
Well, hello there. Thank you, everyone who co-authored and made this work, and those who had the magic to bring it together. Yes, I am Dr. Jan Bieshke. Once I retired after 34 years in the corporate world, where I got this color of hair, I found that there was a softer side of life, and it had to do with our emotions and our appreciation and our gratitude. And I realized so many people are going through life hurting and feeling unloved, unlovable, unwanted, whatever. And I thought, this is just wrong. And I was interviewing hospice patients and other elderly people when I realized that the best part of life is held in those days, those weeks, those maybe months right before we leave this world. There's some sacred gifts in there. And by hearing their stories, by giving them an opportunity to be heard, which we all want, to know that our life had meaning and purpose, to be able to ask for forgiveness, to release our regrets, to say I'm sorry, to whatever that is, and to express love. Some people actually wait until they get to those final days before they express love, or give us an opportunity to express our love to them. But mainly it was about telling their stories, making the connections, leaving a legacy. And I found that these were the absolute best gifts ever, and let people realize that they do matter. And in doing that, that was the best gift to me, by just being present, by just shutting up and listening to them. So my message here that I have for the readers is to create the moments that matter with the people that matter while you still can. Whatever it takes to do that, live today in such a way that it is part of your sacred gift that you leave for your family. So thank you.
Thank you. It sounds like you're leaving a legacy of love and inspiring all of us to do that. Thank you so much. I want to go over to Dr. Lena Thakkar. Are you available to share what you do in the world and what you're passionate about creating, what your chapter's about?
I'm Dr. Lena Thakkar. I'm Ayurveda doctor and a professional speaker and author. First of all, it's been really lovely journey just to bring this book together, because of everyone in this group is so inspiring. And Gail's captainship, I would say, Laura, Tracy, you kept us on track, and obviously Karen's, all bringing us together. It's tremendous, blessed journey, I feel. So I'm celebrating my 25th year of my holistic integrative medicine practice this year. This is my 5th book. So I'm excited this reached to Amazon bestseller category. And my story, my chapter is life extension in 3. But really what my message is that when life pulls you down, woman, definitely, I would say that you need to step up with courage, because for time being things feels really pulling us down, but stepping up to change the life of conditions of your life is so important. And the second part of my story is really, if you are stuck with a conventional path and medicines and chronic sickness, fatigue and pain, there is a non-pharmaceutical approach by allowing body heal itself. And that's what I do. So really my second part of the message is you don't have to give up on you when your family needs you. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, there are natural holistic ways. And really women need to bring their own expertise to help the community. And I feel so blessed in opportunity for Women Speakers Association Publishing to have this opportunity that I can share with the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lena. And thank you for blessing us with the gift of knowing we have the ability to heal holistically. So what a gift. And again, the book, it's all in the book, right? Voices of the 21st Century Book.com. All right, let's go over to Anne Marie.
It took me a while to find the unmute button. Oh, this is so exciting to be here. And I especially want to thank Gail because she was the one who really pushed me to get my story out, because my story is really about vulnerability. And I was, listening to Jan talking about how people wait until the end to find love and to find forgiveness. My story is really about the love that I experienced during the life that I had with my husband, he's passed away. So the other thing, Gail, that I want to thank you, that this is very close to the anniversary of his death. So it all comes together. It's really beautiful. And my story is called Beauty and Fragility. And that's what life is all about. There's beauty in life, but there's also so much fragility. There is a way to also find out what I talk about, not in the story itself, but what the gist of it is about the human to human connection, and how we have three different invisible connections with each other, as well as with our community. And the three invisible connections are really about the space that you create between each other, as well as the bridge, how you come into each other's world, and then that human to humanness. So what I hope for our readers and listeners to come away with from my story is to really know that vulnerability that's what it's all about. It's the only way you can experience anything is to be vulnerable. And, in me finding a new landscape without my husband, that is what I've been doing. But I thank you so much for being part of this. This has been so exciting. And to you, Laura and Melanie and Tracy and Karen, it's just been wonderful. It's a new experience for me. It's a new landscape for me. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. And we are a sisterhood cheering each other on, and I do agree, and I have seen for myself, and I know many of the women here, that vulnerability is strength. It really is a way of strength, and thank you for that message. So great, and it's just so inspiring. I mean, if you haven't picked up your copy yet of Voices of the 21st Century, you're hearing it live from the authors right now who've put their heart and souls into this book. So let's go over to Bria White, Dr. White. And your story.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bria White, and my story is No More Unhappy Endings. And I think the story is very appropriate for today, because as we approach the Me Too movement and why I did not report, and the No More and movement, I think the message out is that we need education, not only education for the women, but also education for the men. There are certain behaviors which they perceive as being nonchalant that change our trajectory forever. And so I'm ready to start a national conversation about domestic violence, about dating violence, and about educating everyone how not to fall into the cycle of abuse, because abuse knows no color, no race, no economic barriers. It affects every neighborhood, and without change, we'll just have more stories. And I think I heard enough stories in the week of the Kavanaugh hearing.
Yes, and it's time to cut those stories down and create the stories of change. And
absolutely,
how we all come together like we're doing today to support each other with love. And
but I do want to let all women know that no matter what your circumstance or what tragic environment you find yourself in, that life can begin again, and you can find happiness, and you can be whole, and you can still have a very, very bright future. So don't give up. Let's all get together, share our stories of resilience, and hang in there. Your secret's safe with me.
Amen. There's nothing more to say to that. Thank you for your heart, your wisdom, your soul, your support. Okay, Christy, why don't you also share your heart?
Oh, okay. I also had a hard time to unmute myself. Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Christians, and thank you all so much for all your efforts that you did to make this book a bestseller. Yay! So I'm a health and nutrition coach, and the name of my chapter is Journey to a Bright Future. It's about genetics, diabetes, being overweight, and mainly about sugar addiction. So sugar is hidden in almost all packaged foods. And when we eat too much sugar, it's very toxic to our bodies and it's highly addictive. So my message to the world is realize that sugar is a multi-billion industry and it causes a lot of damage to people. So of course, first we have to start with ourselves. We have to start realizing and looking at how much sugar do we consume on a daily basis, just because it's hidden and they give all kind of weird names so that we wouldn't recognize it. So my message to the people is be in charge of your own health and be in charge what you put in your precious body. So it's like a wake-up call that I want to give out. Take charge of your health, of your body. Like I was saying to Gail, be the CEO of your own health business. Because I saw when I was a child, my mother, my grandmother, they all had diabetes. So as a child, I saw how devastating it was to fall on this disease. So it's my passion to let people know that they can do something about it and that they can take their health in their own hands. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful work. And I love that. Be the CEO of your own health. Want to learn that? Want to get inspired to do that? Yes, it's in our book, Voices of the 21st Century. I just want to put everybody on screen. Let's wave and blow kisses out because this is a celebration and of our hearts to you. Our audience and all of those who have helped us. We made it to #1 bestseller and we're all so excited and we're sharing that excitement. Gail, did you want to pop in and say something? We're about half hour through this and we've heard half of our authors. So I wanted you to just say what you're taking in.
I'm really just breathing and really, because when I'm hearing as you speak and share your stories, it's so moving, and I'm just so proud of each and every one of you for allowing us to share your truth, put it into that book, to express that vulnerability. And it's because of you that you are impacting the lives of others. And I really hope that as readers are going through this book, that I know your stories, your different stories are going to connect with different people and you're going to change lives. And I just really am so appreciative of every single one of you. So thank you.
Thank you. And I notice your beautiful earrings are a beautiful butterfly, just like on the cover of our book, right? I don't know if you can see that, but this is this beautiful water butterfly that it just draws me in every time I see it. And each one of you are the butterfly, each one of us, the authors here in our hearts. So we're just sharing, in case you're joining us for the first moments here of our show, is the authors of Voices of the 21st Century. And we're all on screen now and we're all excited to be here. And each one of these authors who was able to be with us, there's 30 in total, about 20 of us are here today, sharing what we put into this book for you, and these quick stories that are inspiring, they'll move you. The messages we just heard. Let's hear from some more of our authors. Let's go over to Alana. Did you talk yet? Did you get to share your heart and soul? Please do.
Mute. Hi, I am Alana Love, and I am just so excited to be part of this awesome contribution. It has been such an honor to be able to bring my voice to the world in this manner with all these other 29 just amazing women. I am a high performance coach, certified high performance coach, and I've been a spiritual mentor for many, many years. And my chapter, The Rebel Within, how to play big in your own life, really is, it has re-inspired me. You know, we're in a world where everybody wants to play big in the world, but we have to start big in our own life. And I had to overcome my own limitations as a child. I had two beautiful parents that were just polar opposites. And one parent was exciting and inspiring and lived big, and the other one was totally shut down. And what I've discovered, even with my clients, is that we have a loyalty very often to stories that mute us, that mute our voices, that mute our greatness, that keep us playing small. And we have to find this rebel, this defiance within ourselves to be able to play big, to share our voices, to step up, to show up, to speak up, particularly at this point in time in the world. It is no longer acceptable for any of us, men or women, to be playing small anymore, because the world is waiting for us to show up in such a bigger level of contribution. And so my story is about me rediscovering the rebel, which really is my father's lineage, and being able to break free of the controls of stories and loyalties that no longer have a place in my life. And we all do that in relationships, whether it's business relationships or personal relationships. There's always someone who we become loyal to, and we become loyal to a small story. And it's not what we're here for. And so my job here is, in this world, in this lifetime, is to help people play big. And we start with our own lives, and then we expand that into the world, and we create that ripple. And so I am so honored and delighted to be part of this wave of awareness that this book is bringing to the world.
Well done, Alana. Thank you. I love that. Defy your inner smallness. Be that rebel and bring it out, your bigness. So, wow. All right. Another wonderful story in our Voices of the 21st Century book. So, Donna Ray, would you like to share next about your story and what you're bringing to the world?
Thank you. And thank you all. It's been quite a fun journey. Dale, thanks for everything that you've done. My story is about I'm not done living. And there's a lot of irony that comes with that during this whole process of writing this. I was writing my own book at the time that I joined with the rest of the women. And it's called Don't Tell Me I Can't. It's empowering women, because I was in a male-dominated industry where, ironically, it was the women who didn't respect me. And so that was 30 years ago. Things have come a long way since, but it put me on a journey to seriously empower women. That, you know, it doesn't matter what you want to do. I was an entrepreneur in a man's industry. I was elected to politics. Anything that I set my mind out to do, it happened. And I did it in spite of a whole lot of adversity and chronic health problems. So my message is, doesn't matter what's going on around you. This is the greatest muscle in your body. And it's amazing what you can achieve, overcome, and produce when you set your mind to it. And waking up grateful every day sure helps things happen in a much pleasant and much more expedient way. I'm very grateful.
And we're so very grateful for your voice and your contribution. Thank you for being with us and for your stories. And the next story I want to hear about and the passion you're bringing is from Deb Coleman.
Thank you, Laura. Thanks, everyone. I'm Deb Coleman. I'm a content conversion strategist, a copywriter, a speaker, and now, thanks to all of you, an author. And it's been really, really wonderfully amazing. I work with business owners to get really clear about their message and then to use strategy to share their content and all their messaging to get more of their ideal clients and to make more money. And it very much relates to the chapter in my book, which is called Because is Not an Answer. And to read it, you'll have to grab that Kindle version today. And it's about my dad and really how something, as a really young person, a message that he gave to me about answering questions. And little did I know back then that it carried through to where I am today, to how I can dig deeper on what my own purpose is, you know, as a person, as a business owner, as a speaker. And I help my clients to do the same. And that with some digging deeper to what really, really inspires us, we get more clear about how we want to show up in the world and how we want to show up in our businesses. And then we can create our messaging, our marketing, everything that we do in a way that feels very aligned and simple. And that's what I'm really passionate about, is that it doesn't have to be difficult. And it really can be as simple as tapping into what our individual why is. And the collaborative nature of this book has just been from the very beginning. Many of us worked with each other to help work on our chapters, to get inspiration back from the early stages of writing to our pre-marketing to what we've done to get to #1 best-selling status. Probably almost none of us could have done it alone. So I'm really grateful to be a part of it. And also really honored to be a part of the leadership team here at Women Speakers Association. And with us bringing publishing into the picture, we're just offering, you know, not just our members, but really the world so much more than what we were before.
Love how you brought that up. It really is a sisterhood here. I know my chapter I couldn't have completed without your support and digging deeper, just what you talked about in the book. So thank you, Deb, for your heart, your wisdom, your inspiration to dig deeper. And if you want to dig deeper and see how all the women here did that, Voices of the 21st Century book.com. Get your Kindle copy today. It's only 99 cents for today only. Last day for that. First day, last day, we went bestseller. So awesome job, everyone. And we're sharing from our hearts what it is that we brought to this book. And so I'd like to hear, Michelle, from you, who you are, and talk to us about the passion you have and what you're calling people to do with your chapter.
Thanks, Laura. Yep, Michelle Cameron Coulter, and I jokingly say MC squared for short. and this room right now is full of that energy. I just want to say a huge thanks to Gail. Like, I'm watching everybody on here, and I saw her well up a couple times, and I can feel it too. There's goosebumps everywhere to get us together finally, because it has been a labor of love. It's been a labor of, I feel like I'm going to get a bit emotional. Vulnerability and being real. And this is what I love about this opportunity so much. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart, Gail. You've been one of the ones that has pushed me more than anybody for as long as I've known you. And I've said I wanted to do a book, and this is bigger than I could have imagined, being able to do it with all of you. So my background, I'm Olympic gold medalist. Most importantly, I'm a mother of 4 and 3 girls who all my kids are amazing, but for me to be a role model to my girls and giving them the message that I think is so important. And it's the messages of everyone in here. And also that in my swimming background, I was this quiet, shy little kid that failed my first level of swimming 4 times. I never in a million years thought I would stand on top of a podium. And Gail and I have talked about this a lot. And I would say, like, no one makes it to the top alone, and who wants to? And one of the things that I share in my chapter is letting go of perfection. I was in the sport of synchronized swimming, and I relate that so much to the world that we live in as women and young girls, of feeling like we need to be perfect and living up to this expectation that is not realistic. And so when we can be vulnerable and real, that allows us to let go of so much more and be so much more. And I battled with a challenge with an eating disorder for the last few years of my swimming career that I never shared that for years. And it was my kids, my oldest daughter, that encouraged me to share that. And as soon as I did, it was like I let go of this major freedom of understanding that was self-feeling of not enough. And I don't ever want my girls to feel like that. I don't want any woman to feel like that. And it's like, as soon as I was able to share that, that underlying feeling of we need to be perfect is obscene, first of all. And when we let go of that, then magic can happen and what we can create together. I talk about jumping in and playing a bigger game. And this is the opportunity that we've created here as a team to do that and to reach out so much further than any one of us could on our own, in empowering women to share their stories in a real and vulnerable and empowering way, to jump in and have their biggest, best life. So my chapter is actually called Inspiring Possibilities, Conquering Our Fears, letting go of perfection, and jumping into our greatness, making a big splash. And so I want to say, first of all, congratulations to team. This is an awesome team. I'm so excited, so proud, and so grateful to every one of you. And today it's like literally goosebumps on goosebumps, because it's just a reaffirmation. Every time I hear one of you sharing your story and why, like, how powerful is this? And we have a lot to celebrate, and the ripple effect of this is going to be massive. So thank you, Gail. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, each and every one of you. And I'm honored to be part of this team with all of you.
We do indeed. We have built each other up, and I love that goosebumps on top of goosebumps, because so many of us here today sharing this experience. And one thing I took away from what you said, Michelle, is that, doing this collaboratively made it so much less stressful on any one person. Although I think Karen may have had the most stress here, except for Karen, because she had to put it all out there. So thank you, Karen, for taking on the burden of the stress. But for the rest of us, I mean, the stress was on our message and grappling with how are we going to do this, not so much the logistics. So what a gift it was for all of us. So I wanted to hear from Lakisha or Lakisha. Why don't you tell me how you pronounce your name, and tell us about your heart and what's in your book chapter.
Sure. So peace and divine blessings to each and every one of you. I just want to first of all just say thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. It is indeed humbling. So my name is Lakisha Naidira Muhammad, and I am a maternal health advocate as well as a host of women as it relates to their mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health. As a holistic health practitioner, for me, it was very important that I was able to share my story, my own personal experience, because I recognize that over the course of the years, the woman's voice has been silenced in many ways, but in particular as it relates to her birth and her birthing story. Over the course of years, things have changed tremendously. Not only have we been silenced, but a lot of things have been just taken away from us. And a part of that is our voice. So it was important to me to be able to inspire women through my story, to help them to reclaim their voice, help them to reclaim their choice, and their divine gift of being able to birth naturally the way in which their bodies were designed to do. The business or birthing has become a business over the course of the years. And because it's become a business, then most of the time we are told what to do and how to do it, and not really given any opportunity to have any input in our own natural experience. And I know for a fact, not only because of my own experience, but because of many women who have from the beginning or the annals of time have been doing this. And because I know this, and because I know from the experience of my ancestors, who also were women who were proud to be able to have the gift of birthing. You know, as women, we're sacred beings. We are goddesses. We are queens of the earth. And to have that story, or to have someone else dictate to us our narrative, I feel is very unfortunate, because the woman's voice should not be silenced. When you disrespect the woman, the co-creator, you know, then you really have a problem with the world. And I believe that's why we're seeing so many different things that's taking place, you know, in the world today, in our society. We can judge a nation by the way in which they treat their women. And unfortunately, we haven't done a good job at that. So if I can offer, you know, just words of inspiration by just sharing my story, even though my experience was very unique in that I did have a home birth in my own sacred space, and it was a beautiful and joyous experience, I'm not here really to necessarily tell women that this is what they should do, but more so just inspire them to take back your voice, reclaim your choice, and reclaim the power that you've been given since the day that you were born to do what it is that you were naturally born to do, which is have the gift to be able to give birth to divine life.
Laura, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Thank you. Can you hear me now? Thank you for that. So, so inspiring, Lakeisha. It's just your choice matters, your voice matters. And I want to hear from also now Ruth. Tell us about your voice and your message and what you're moving women to do.
When a group of women with one single intention get together, there is nothing they cannot achieve. And that we've proven that. And every time I've heard one of you speak today, I want to quote the famous line from when Harry met Sally, "I'll have what she's having," if you remember that part. To introduce myself, I'm Ruth Broidy Sharon. I'm a documentary filmmaker and a journalist and author. And that's who I thought I was until a few years ago, I suddenly started writing songs that seemed to come out of nowhere. And because I've been an interfaith activist and an inspirational speaker for interfaith engagement and peace building for 30 years, all the songs that came out had to do with bringing people together, with sharing what we have in common, with respecting the other faiths, with recognizing the difficulty we have sometimes when our children make other choices and not what we wanted for them. And so these songs kept coming out, and I suddenly discovered that I was in an entirely new realm as a babe, an innocent babe, because I had never done this before in my life. And I remember reading a few years ago that women have at least 5 careers in their lifetime. They move from career to career, and in each time when they do that, because we have these wonderful talents of survival, great intuition, and talents for working with people, we find a way to whatever new field we come into to be able to make a success of it. But I was feeling very compromised and scared, especially when I was told by a coach for new musicals, because I realized I was writing a musical. She told me I would have to sit down and write some songs that I didn't have. And all these songs had come to me without my requesting them. And the fact that I would have to do it suddenly on my own paralyzed me. And I stopped short everything I was doing. Even though I had honors and accomplishments in the other fields of my life, I actually felt that I was incapable of continuing. So I'm not going to tell you what happened, but I'm going to tell you the name of the chapter. It's called The Eternal Well of Creativity. And I think it's really important for every woman, man, and child to understand that there is no limitation on creativity in the world. The world is a well of creativity, and we can dip into it when we need to. We never have to fear that the well dries up, because just as the world exists as the creation of God, or the source, or the divine, however you view it, that is a constant act of creation every single day. And each one of us is also capable of an act of creation every day. We have hidden powers that we didn't know of. And when I look around at my beautiful sisters and co-authors, I just want to thank all of you, and I want to thank Gail and Karen and you, Laura, for doing this program. I think that this is a real symbol of what the next part of the 21st century can be like, because when we find our voices, as I said, there is nothing that can keep us from changing the world and making it a more positive place to live in. So congratulations to everybody, to all of us, and thank you.
Woohoo. And yes, congratulations to all of us. It's beautiful collection here of all of us. And Gail, I saw you had a box. Did you want to share something?
Yes, I guess because some people have received their boxes in the mail already. So just as we were on this call. So what's fun is I haven't opened it yet. So can we do that now?
Yeah, unbox it, baby.
All right. Okay. Here we go. This is so awesome. Oh, it must be loud. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it feels good.
Yay! That's the paperback version of today's Voices of the 21st Century, Women Who...
Oh, thank you, everybody. Wow. Amazing. Yay.
It's something to hold it in your hands and read it and take a picture with it and all that great stuff. Thank you. We have a few more women to get to, authors on our show today, who are sharing their stories in Women of the 21st Century, the women who influence, voices of the 21st century, women who influence, inspire, and make a difference. So I wanted to go over to Renee to share a little bit about yourself and what you want people to take away from your story.
Well, ladies, it is such a privilege to be here among you. I listen to your stories and I look at your beautiful faces, and just being present does give you chills. It makes me want to weep. So proud to be a part of this group. One of the things that I knew early in this process was that we had divine favor. And the reason that I knew that was when Karen first sent us all the e-version of the book, and we got to look at each other's chapters. It was amazing to me how we had flow and we had synergy and our stories connected. And I felt like that was such a message, honestly, for all of us, for the people that we, work with and that we deal with and that we're on this planet with every day. And that is that we have synergy and that we're connected. And we need to reach outside of our comfort zones and reach out to those people and really understand who we are as humans together in this process of life. My chapter is called Raging Aging, and it's a little bit different. I have been working for the last 10 years. I have a company called Renee & Company, and we work to support the family and primary caregivers. There are over almost 50 million people in our country, in the United States today, that's providing caregiving or care coordination for their loved ones or neighbors. And they oftentimes find themselves doing this, kind of falling into this job in a time of crisis. And so Renee & Company is an organization that through workshops and events, we bring resources and professionals and education to the family and primary caregiver. But most of all, we bring a place of camaraderie so that when people are feeling isolated or they're feeling alone, there's this place that they can meet with their peers and find that it's really, they don't need to be by themselves in their journey. So Raging Aging, in the 10 years that I've been working with people, one of the things that I discovered was, this whole idea of aging that's kind of scary. Our media really paints this awful picture to us. Really kind of isn't. It's actually can be fun, and there's a lot of freedom in the aging process. And I've been observing this for the last 10 years. And like Dr. Ruth said, there's so many, we have another career, we have other things that we learn. I mean, so many of you have spoken to this today so eloquently. And so my chapter is really a call to action. It's a mantra. I don't think we should take aging, and I don't think we should age the way previous generations have. I think we need to stand up and not allow ourselves to be minimized, not allow ourselves to be compartmentalized, and we need to just rush into the aging process with all the enthusiasm that we've lived our lives. And that's my call to action in my chapter. It's my call to action for every one of you. I see you all doing it. We're doing it. And so it's so exciting, and it's such an honor and privilege to be among this group. And I want to thank you again. Thank you, Karen. I don't know how you've done it. Thank you, Gail, for your encouragement and just, orchestrating this group together. Laura, you are a tech genius. I stalk you because I'm not. And so I wish I could just detach myself, and you as well, Tracy. I just want to thank you all so much for helping me and assisting me and just letting me be a part of this group. So thank you.
Thank you for the power of collaboration. And that's truly what we've done here at the Voices of the 21st Century book that went to what bestseller today. Yay! And I just can't say enough about the collaboration and the work that both Karen and Gail have put into the book to make it happen for all of us. And, we just amplified it all with our stories and our hearts. And I want to hear some more. I want to hear from Kimberly. Tell us about your story and the passion you have for change in the world.
Well, hello, everybody. First, I definitely want to thank Gail for inviting me to be a part of this process. And, Karen, just wonderful. Claudia was fantastic. Everybody was just fantastic in this. And I can't say how much I am honored to be around this group of women. What I actually do is create and facilitate mastermind groups. So I actually bring groups of people together to work together so they're not alone. And I feel like in this process that I have brought 30 more people into my tribe, so to speak. And so what I actually wrote about was the chapter I wrote is Mindset Matters. And I am very passionate about a mindset that's positive. What we tell ourselves is so important. And if we're telling ourselves negative thoughts or beating ourselves up too much for maybe failures that we've had, it can really pull us down. It can stop us in our tracks, keep us from moving forward. And, failures are going to happen. They're stepping stones for the success that's going to come at a later time. And, kind of like people have said in this one, this was a group of women that prior to this, I think most of us didn't know each other. There were like a few people, and all of us came together and we pulled it off. I mean, we are #1 today, and that's very, very impressive. I think I'm super proud of us. So, and that took a mindset to be able to do it, to pull that off, and we took control of the situation. We didn't give our power away to anybody, and we did it. And I'm honored because I feel like I have 30 more people in my corner. And I know, those days are going to come where you have a bad day, something happens. And now I'll tell you, I'm going to pick up this book and read these amazing stories when those days hit, because that will give me just that little bit of push to go, you know what? Yeah, today kind of sucked, but tomorrow will be better. And I just need to push forward, get a positive attitude. And, all these stories do that. And so that's what I'm going to do. So if you haven't gotten your book, you need to grab it today, because that'll be a big one for you.
Beautiful idea, Kimberly. And, you know, you can visit all of the women. We all have our pictures in, I'm trying to get one page up with our pictures in it. And it's such a great point that if we want to shift our mindset, you know, use the power of the women that are right here today to do that. And I love that whole idea, and also the paradigm, Renee, that you gave about aging. Rush into it. Why not? That's great. Thanks. And so we have more. Wait, there's more of us to come here. Elizabeth, I'd love for you to share a little bit about your story and really what you're passionate about sharing through your story in the book.
My story in the book, when I decided to join the group, I was in the process of writing my own book, which is coming out in November. And so I decided that I wanted my my chapter to be a little snapshot of what my book is going to be about. And so my chapter is called Relentless, and it's about being relentless in life. It's about having the courage to come up against adversity and pick back up and keep going. And no matter how many times you get knocked down, or how you get knocked down, or who knocks you down, that you have the ability, you have the strength within you to rise up against that adversity and to become a better person, and to choose to be better instead of choose to be bitter. And you want to choose to be better in the face of adversity. And I am a speaker and a best-selling author now, and also a Christian life coach. And so and it's just a little snapshot of my story and what I've been through, and what kind of adversities I've had to overcome. And I love to work with women, especially women who deal with chronic illness that's triggered by traumas that they've experienced in their life, and they don't even realize that trauma is the cause of their chronic illness. And that's something that I went through. And so as a naturopath and as a chronic illness patient that has recovered, I like to work with women to help them know that they can overcome that adversity and they can heal their bodies naturally.
So inspiring. You're not alone on your journey, ladies. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for your heart and your wisdom. We have a few more people to share about, again, what we're talking about, the book, the best-selling book as of today, Voices of the 21st Century. It's all 30 women who have shared their stories. They're women of influence, impact. They're inspiring and making a difference. So we are, I should say. So I'd like to hear next from Corinna about, share about who you are and what story you brought to us and what your message is, what you're passionate about.
I think Corinna had to hop off, actually.
Oh, Corinna, I'm sorry. Well, we love you. And how about Andrea? Are you still here? Is Andrea still here? Yeah, Andrea's here. Awesome.
I'm here. Yes, I am. Oh, thank you, everybody, for all the contributing stories that were so amazing. I loved reading all of them. And my story is also a small outtake of my book that I'm writing, and which is called My Invincible Truth. And, just stepping out from what was a life of just knowing being a wife and a mom to knowing who I am and my authentic self, and growing into that, and expanding. And with that came remembering my gifts of being a medium, a channeler, a connector. I have many different titles, spiritual alchemist. There's a lot of different things that I've been told that I can do. And remembering through this process that I actually tried to shut this down. I tried not to be myself. I tried to pretend that I was someone else. And this, I know, is so prevalent that we hide behind titles, and especially women, we hide behind being a mom or a wife or a, CEO, and yet who are we? Who are we as individual women? And just coming together and reading these stories, I feel like this is what we're doing. We are opening up these doors. We are raising our voices for the 21st century to say, this is who we are. And in a way, yeah, watch out, here we come, because we got a lot to say. We have a lot to share with one another. And so I love being a part of this and raising the vibration, and just, oh my gosh, I just get so excited to talk about chills upon chills again, being a part of this. So super excited. So happy, of course, no surprise that we're on the bestsellers list, and it's only going to get better from here.
Like you said, with the energy, it's been really great. And it was inevitable. I mean, Karen, you said that from the get-go, we would be a bestseller, and lo and behold, we are, thanks to that collaboration. And thank you, Andrea, for that. And Nicole, I wanted to go to you to share your heart and what your message is today. If you're still with us, yes, you're here.
Afternoon, Nicole Mason. Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, excellent. I am a success strategist. I serve as coach and confidant to high achieving women in ministry and in the marketplace. I help women to show up, speak up, and stand out. So I am so excited to be a part of this awesome book collaboration. And so thanks to Gail and you and all of the rest of the team, I'm so excited to be a part of this. I share in my chapter how purpose has more power than pain. And I talk about losing my mom to heart disease. And I was diagnosed shortly thereafter, and really working through all of those emotions and coming to understand that pain really does have purpose attached to it if we allow ourselves to go through the process. And so, Anne Marie, I certainly commiserate with you, and I certainly understand your chapter and your story, talking about losing your husband, but really finding the internal strength to continue to move forward. I was an only child, only grandchild, and so I lost my mom and my grandmother in the same month while I was 8 months pregnant. So just a lot of loss, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, devastation. But I have come to know that God has purpose for all things that we go through. And my chapter is just a reminder to people all over the world that you are not alone, because we all experience loss, we all experience pain, but what makes the difference is what we do with the pain. So I serve now as an ambassador for the American Heart Association, going around telling women about their health and being active and being intentional about engaging their health, and doing it with such passion because I am intentional about making sure that my mom's life is not in vain, and neither will mine be, because I am serving women with everything that's in me. Was just mostly awarded on this past Saturday for being a mentor to many women, and receive a governor's citation and county executive citation. So I'm just excited and on cloud nine, just to be acknowledged for adding value to the lives of people. And I'm just honored to do that. And I don't take it for granted, nor do I take it lightly. So thank you all so much for allowing me the opportunity to serve alongside you, to make a difference in the earth and to make impact in the lives of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Your voice matters. Your heart's amazing. And thank you for the reminders from your story and that are so inspiring. And we have Fran to share about her story next, and what you're passionate about bringing out into the world. What change do you want to see?
Mute. Okay. You probably saw I went to the door and got my books. Came in while we were talking. Yay, I have my own now. So my chapter, when I had a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 3-year-old, my husband left. So at that point I had choices of, do I cry and moan or do I carry on? And what I chose to do was to carry on. And that's what my chapter is all about, is making the choices for yourself and being positive, being optimistic. And my 4 children are wonderful. I have wonderful grandchildren now, and I've been a role model for them. And I am also a career counselor, and I've been doing career counseling for about 30 years. I semi-retired 7 years ago from my full-time day job so that I could do career counseling for an EAP service. So I've been doing that for the last 7 years. So I work from home at my kitchen table, which is wonderful. And I help people recognize the skill sets that they have when I'm working with them, to look at what their aha moment is, because a lot of people don't recognize their strengths. They don't recognize their skills. And I hear a lot of negativity. And so I encourage people to be more positive and to recognize who they are. And most of my clients are women. So I'm helping mostly women, but there's a few men out there that need some help too. So I just absolutely loved reading the stories in this book. I think they're phenomenal. And someone said that they all flowed together beautifully. And I felt the same thing when I was reading the stories. It was just, we were all in the same place, all coming from the same place, from our hearts. And thought that was amazing.
Thanks so much, Fran and everyone. I just wanted to jump in because a lot happens behind the scenes of our book. And Laura is one of those people who tends to work quite a bit behind the scenes. And she is also one of our authors. So I want to invite her to share her story. And just before doing that, to those who are watching, please share this out with your communities. We see what the power of the 30 of us authors have been able to do, and we can use your help spreading the word even further, not just about becoming a bestseller, because we really are passionate about getting our message heard and helping other people and touching more lives. And that's what you do when you share our message. And we would really be grateful. If you're not sure if this book is for you, I can't imagine, because these are real life stories. As you know, we're all real people here sharing from our own experience. And if you head over to our Buy Now page, you will see lots of reviews of people who have already gotten the book and what they're gaining. And I've had people text me that they stayed up all night reading once they could grab it at midnight, and that they feel very inspired, and they're thinking of quitting their jobs and diving deeper into their purpose. So we are making a difference. And Laura is one of the many people who did a wonderful job. I had a privilege of, we kind of paired up helping each other with our chapters as sounding boards. And I want to invite her to share her passion and share her story. That's her chapter in the book as well.
Thanks, Deb. Really appreciate your heart and inviting me to do that. My chapter is called A Woman's Superpower, and it's really what I want to do is inspire everyone, every woman out there, to know that our power as women is far greater than we give ourselves credit for. That we can truly, like many women today said, make a difference in the world, see the change we want. And we have extraordinary abilities. And you know what? Men know it. And we don't. I went around and interviewed men like 3 years ago on International Women's Day about what do you want women to know about themselves that they don't know? And many of them were saying things like that women have so much power in my life. They are my guides and my compasses, and men value us. The honorable men value us, and we need to remember that. We need to step up into who we know ourselves to be. And it's my story of how I found that out for myself, and invite everybody else into that. So I'm excited to be here. And in the real world, I do a lot of technical work. I'm a digital media marketing strategist and have an agency. Also, I'm the founder of Social Buzz Club, which is an online platform for content sharing and syndication. So it's my honor to be a part of the leadership team here, to work so closely with Gail and Deb and Tracy and Melanie, and so hard, and with Karen too. And Claudia was amazing, our editor-in-chief. And you know, it was such a great synergy, and I want to give Gail a moment to wrap us up here today, because I think is there anybody else? Please message me if anybody joined and I didn't see that you joined and you haven't shared about your chapter, because I think there's about eight or 10 authors that didn't get to be here today with us or share with us, and I don't want to miss a single one of you. I mean, I just can't wait to read these over and over again, the stories. And if you're looking to buy it today, 99 cents today only, voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com will take you directly to the Amazon. Well, not directly, but you'll get to see all the authors, and then click the buy link, or search for us on Amazon. And like Deb was saying, the reviews are awesome. And we already have 48 of them. And if you feel so inspired, feel free to leave a review as well. So Gail, I'd like to turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you. And can we go full screen with everybody's
Yeah.
faces for this?
We are.
Because this book is #1 because of each and every one of you. And I love what's been talked about in terms of the collaborative nature of it and the power that we all bring when we come together. And it doesn't stop here. Women Speakers Association, we are a community. So as you're watching this, you are part of this as well, right? So simple things in your connection with others. And I mean, sharing this broadcast would be phenomenal and helping us get more of these messages out. We would love you to do that. And I just have sat here and listened, and it has been very moving emotionally. And get these just such joy from hearing each one of your stories and getting to know each one of you on a much deeper and personal level. I want to thank all of you, really, from the bottom of my heart. I thank each and every one of you for making this happen. This is truly a dream, right, turned into a reality. You're witnessing it here today. And to our community, thank you for watching this. Thank you for sharing, and I really appreciate you as well for being here. And we want to share your voice, so I thank you for all of it. So thanks, Laura.
Thank you. And will there be other Voices books, or maybe the future of publishing here at WSA Publishing?
If you want, because we have 30 out of how many voices do we have here? Several thousand. Yeah, we all need to get our voices out. We have to get our message out. Absolutely, 100%. It makes a difference. So
Every one of us have made a difference here. I'm so honored to be a part of this group, and just having this time together today has been just a gift. So thank you, everyone. We will see you on Amazon and keeping that bestseller status going and growing. We have more categories to become bestseller in, so please pick up your copy at voicesofthe21stcenturybook.com. And thank you, Tracy, for putting that site up together and making it happen so awesomely. It's a beautiful cover, don't you think, everyone? Woo. And the Kindle version, 99 cents today, just for you. Let's give it, everybody come off mute here, and let's give a great cheer. Yay, bye.
Cheers.
Congratulations,
great job, everybody.
Yay.
Thank you.